Yesterday we learned all about line plots, and you learned how to create a line plot. Today we're going to look at analyzing line plots, or reading and understanding line plots. Our essential question is still, how can I record and analyze data? Here's our problem of the day. There are 384 people on a boat. 155 of the people are women. The rest are men. Write a subtraction number sentence to show how many men are on the boat. So this would look like 384 is the total, right? Take away the number of women, and that will show us men. Now, I'm going to go over here and stack them up so I can see if I'm going to need to regroup. Look in the ones place first. I have more on the top or more on the floor? More on the floor. So we've got to go next door and regroup 10 more. I have 8 tens. If I take one, that leaves me with 7. I'm going to break it apart into 10 ones, which gives me 14. 14 minus 5, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. 7 minus 5, I have more on top, no need to stop. 3 minus 1 is 2, so there are 229 men. I can check that answer by adding my two parts together to see if it equals my whole of 384. So 9 plus 5 is 14. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 plus 1 is 3. 384. 384, so this is correct. There are 229 men. Okay, so we're going to use the tally chart to make a line plot. We look here at age 7, and we have 5 tally marks. So we're going to make 5 X's above the number 7. And then we have 5 plus 2 is 7, which 7 of the kids are age 8. It's kind of tricky, isn't it? And then 4 of them are 9. So now we've got our line plot for their ages. Okay, let's do another one. Same thing, we're going to graph their ages. 3 are 7. 2 are 8. And 4 are 9. There's my completed line plot. All right, Liam asked 10 friends how many dimes they had in their piggy banks. 2 friends said 0. Underline what we know. 2 friends said 0. 3 friends said 1. 2 said 3. 1 said 4. Everyone else said 7. Which line plot correctly shows this data? So the first piece of data we have to have is that 2 friends said 0. So let's look at 0. In this one, 3 friends said 0, so it can't be this one. In this one, 3 friends said 0. Can't be this one. In this one, 2 friends said 0. Okay, so this is looking good. Let's check to make sure. 3 friends said 1. 1, 2, 3, yep. 2 said 3. 1, 2, yep. 1 said 4, yep. And everyone else said 7. Here are the other 2 that said 7. So this one is our correct line plot. All right, so today we're going to look at how to read the line plots. So we had how to make them. Now we're going to practice reading and interpreting them. So wildlife studies are done to study the number of deer in an area. The data is shown in the line plot. Use the data from the line plot to answer the question. It says, which number has the most X's? So let's look up there, and it looks like number 2 has the most out of everybody, right? It's higher than all the rest. How many times were 3 deer seen? Let's count the X's. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many times were 7 deer seen? Let's go to 7. There's 1 for 7. And how many times were 5 deer seen? There are no X's there. So what do we think that means? That means that they never saw 5 deer in an area. So 0 times were 5 deer seen. All right, so go ahead and open up to your guided practice on page 574. And we're going to answer some questions based on our data here. It says this line plot shows the number of students in each class at a school. How many students are in most of the classes? So we've got our line plot here, and the number with the highest number of X's is 21. So most classes have 21 students. This one has number of hats. How many students have 2 hats? So let's look at 2. And we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many students have just 1 hat? Find 1. 1, 2, 3. 3 students have 1 hat. How many students have 3 hats? Again, let's find the number 3. This is how many hats? 1, 2, 3, 4 students have 3 hats. And how many students have more than 2 hats? Okay, so this one's a little tricky because we need to look at everything that's past 2. So all of these together, how many are there within these 3 columns? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 kids or students have more than 2 hats. How are line plots the same or different than bar graphs or picture graphs? So we talked about this a little bit yesterday. They show how many people have certain things. It's kind of different in that aspect, but they are same in that they show data in a visual way that makes it easier for someone to understand. And they both can use tally charts to help take that data and then make it into a more organized graph. So you are going to practice a little bit more with this on pages 575 and 576 and upload pictures to schoolwork when you